Good morning to you once more, and today is Saturday the 23rd day of July 2016, and oh how the month is going by so quickly. By the time I visit here next week, we'll only have one more day left before the month comes to an end. But I'm here with you today Saturday at the Argyle International Airport site, and down here in this area is where we have the approach lights, where the fencing work enclosing the lights because they have to be protected. And last week when I visited here, I show you where they were doing some fresh concrete works to make a drainage way so that the water that runs down at the outside of the fencing can make its way down to the side down there, down to the bank, rather than running alongside the concrete works of the fencing and eroding the area. So now you're seeing the complete work here. They have something similar to this on the other side, on the eastern side there, where the water that is coming off from the main road, the road that they put in at the top, will be running towards this area. But while they may have done this corrective work here, I believe that they have to do something also to this area of the fencing, because when it rains, the water will fall here and the water will make its way somewhere along this area. So at least they can put some concrete works at the side to take the water off from the fencing to prevent any structural damages to the concrete works here. So this is what we have here. At this time we have no work is taking place actually, but you're seeing evidence of barbed wires being run, and it is not fully completed, but most of it is done. As you can see, a ball of it hanging down there on the side from where they would have stopped. So I don't know if they will be coming back here today or sometime in the week coming to finish off this work. But this is what we have taking place here currently. This is the work so far for the past week here in the area where we have the approach light. So I must let you know that all of the meshes around this area of the approach light, they are in. The gate is not locked, so the area is not secured. The gate is still open, so anyone could still have access to it. But I'm hoping that very soon they're going to put some sort of lock on the gate so that they can protect this, secure this area. Doesn't make sense you're putting up fencing all around and you have the gate open. May as well leave it down like that. But this is it here. As you can see, the fresh concrete works down here for the drainage way. Not very professionally done, but nevertheless, to take the water off of the wall here and prevent erosion. This piece of access road you're seeing here, somewhere from the drum, little beyond the drum, coming down and going around to this area all the way back around. This was not the route this road was intended to pass. Right where you're seeing the stone here and that black patch of asphalt, going all the way down here, where those stones are, this was actually the original route they had cut to put this access road. So it would have saved you a longer journey to get around there. But during the compaction period, when they start compacting the dirt, there was a problem with the earth itself. As the compacting machine compacts the area, the dirt, it was soft, right? Because of the structural ground, there was some water in the structure, so it was too soft to put a road, because eventually if they would have done that, we would have had a damaged road even before anything started riding on it. So as a result of that, the road was rerouted and going all the way back around to the outer end where it's much harder, because what seems to be the case here is these look like stuff they would have dumped here over a period of time. Is not really solid earth, and so when it rains, the water seeps through and settles at the bottom and soften the bottom. So this is what we have. I just want to give you an idea, because originally, if this area was sung, the foundation was sung, then your road would not have gone around that area. It would have come down just in front of the drum there and passed all the way here, and it would have been easier for you to get back wrong to that area around there. Now they would have done the eastern side of the road regarding the slipper drain. Now they are concentrating on the western side of the road with the slipper drain, and it looks as though they have started out at the end where they would have ended when they did the eastern side, and now they are starting from out here coming up. And right now we have a truck there, concrete truck, pouring concrete into the boxing where the siding of this slipper drain is. See, the truck is being loaded with base stone. These stones that you're seeing here that this truck will be loaded with are the same set of stones that we have piled up just at the back of me here on the foothill. As the mill crushes the stone and the area builds up with the stone, they need to clear the area so that more stones can be crushed. What I believe is now happening, the truck is loading, rather than loading trucks and have them dumping the stones there, these stones are now needed immediately, so they're loading the stones from this pile area, making it smaller. And I believe, and I'm not quite sure, but they're doing work on the area of the road coming down from the control tower, and I want to believe that somewhere in this area these stones are being dumped, but I am not positively sure. But when I get to those areas, I can confirm that it is such. But I know for a fact that they're doing work on the road leading to the control tower, but how far they have gotten with that work, I don't know as yet. But this is the base stones that they actually use on the roadway, also in the areas where they're doing the concrete works, like around the apron area. All those base stones, you used to see them laying down. These are the stones that they use to do those work. And as you can see, the truck is making its way out, and most likely probably will pass through that area just below by the stone crushing plant and make its way over to whatever area it is going to with the stone. But when I get up in those areas, I'll be able to tell you better. One of the local private trucks working. I don't really know his name, but it's truck Mark Lunatic. Come somewhere from up at the Pedro-Cliff Hill and taking this dirt over to the bank side over there on the foothill. And doesn't matter where he sees me on the site, I always get the toot of the horn to indicate that he sees me and just to say greet. But I am here in the area where we have the stone crushing plant, and you know that the fencing work have started coming in this area. Now just down there, I don't know if you can see it, you're supposed to be seeing it, is where they would have gotten to with the fencing work and have stopped since last year. And because of the fact that the trucks are used in this area to get up to the side, this section of the work has been kept back until right now. So what is actually happening, they would have taken down the conveyor belt that was hanging over on this side of the airport, and now the way has been cleared for the work of the fencing. As you can see, all this area has been leveled off. So not too long from now, the fencing work is actually coming down, but not too long from now we'll be seeing where they're going to do the fencing work in this area here to link up back with that one down there that they have actually completed. There's also going to be a drainage system in this area, so the drain has already started from that area down there where those equipment are coming from, and they will be going, that drain will be going all the way back out to the north end and exit somewhere in the area just below where they had the roadway to go up here. Here am I. This is the most recent piece of work they would have done. It looks as though this was actually done not too long ago, but you can see where they're putting in the drain, and this drain will be linking up all the way back down there to the one that they would have done. So this is the most recent piece of work here on the drainage system north of where we have the stone crushing plant, which is just behind me here. So all this area here going all the way back down to where they have the fencing, they have to put in drain and fencing work. As you can see, the way they are doing this section of the fencing work, this should have been the way a lot of the fencing work should have been done. But in some areas they don't have drain. But the pole itself is being planted in between where we have the side of the drain. So the question of erosion at the footing of the concrete of the poles is going to be minimal, and there is actually not going to be any erosion, as we would have seen in some areas, especially up at the western side, where when the rain falls and the water rushes down at the footing of the concrete and it erodes the base of the concrete and then leave a gaping space underneath there, and as a result you can have cracks in the concrete. But the way they have done this section here and the thing, you see the poles are now secured in the side of the fencing, so that even though it rains, no water can erode this, because actually here is a drain, and this is done with concrete being cast. So as you can see, this small piece right here coming all the way back around and going back to down, this was actually done not too long ago, just a while ago, because the concrete is fresh, and they are actually doing concrete works up there, like I have shown you from over the hill where they're doing concrete works on the drainage. So I'm going to go up there a while and show you exactly what is taking place. But this concrete works that they did just a while ago this morning started from this area. No meshes are in position as yet. There's still space here. We have them on the ground waiting to be put up, but I guess they're waiting until they complete a great deal before they start doing that. So earlier up, when I was looking at them from over the hill and saw them in this area here, they were just doing the flat side of the drain, as you can see. But over in the area where we have the truck right now, they are actually putting up that raised side of the slipper drain. As you can see the boxing there on the side, they are now actually putting the concrete in that side. So what they normally do, they put the flat side first with all the steels grounded, and then later on they put up the siding and start the rest of the concrete work to raise the side to prevent the water from running over to it. So here you're seeing where they would have already planted poles, and they're heading down towards the south to link up back with that which they would have done down there. Now over on the western side, that's just below the McConaughey Hill, they have similar work like this to be done, the drainage system and also the fencing. So I guess probably after they're finished with this area, they will go over at the McConaughey Hill side to do the fencing work. They also have at the bank side where they're taking down the petroglyph hill, but as soon as that stubborn rock comes down, they're gonna start the work there on the fencing. And I am not sure how much they would have done going around south of the apron area, going towards the electrical substation, but they had some fencing work also to be done in that area as well. Now the work here has held up for the time being because there isn't any concrete. So as soon as they get more concrete, they're going to continue with the concrete works here on the slipper drain here at this end. They would have already done that side over there, and now they're concentrating on this area. A couple weeks ago I took a photograph with this light, this particular one here, and the light was not in. It looks as though, well, not looks as though, it was damaged. And I was trying to figure out, well, if it was deliberate or if it was an accident. Well, on inquiring last week I was told that it was an accident, but now as I come back here, I have seen the light replaced. And what I have also learned is that these lights are very expensive. The damage, what I've gathered, was done by one of the vehicles using the site. And so here we are with the light back in. So it's good news, but the fact remains that they are very expensive, and one has to be very careful not to damage them, because it takes money to put them back. We are here at the McConaughey Hill, and the pipe for the Rubis fuel, the fuel pipes for Rubis for the fuel farm, those pipes have already been laid. So what is left next to be done here is just actually the drainage system and the rest of the fencing work that they have to put in here. And they start the drain from down there in the distance, so it will be coming towards the north and ending up in that area where we have the entrance of the drain that is running under the first kilometer of the runway in the area of the breadfruit gutter. This water that will be flowing along here will end up in that drain, just in that area up there where you see that truck stops somewhere up there. You're gonna have the drain exiting there. But this is what is left to be done with the fencing and the drainage system. How long they're gonna take to start this work, I don't really know, but this is a section of the fencing that will have to be done. Well, I'm here with you at the area where we have the fencing, the planting of the poles taking place during the week, this week, since my last visit on Saturday. there wasn't any poles planted in the area here, but they were making preparation for the planting of the poles. Now I'm back here today Saturday, and I can show you they have gotten as far up to where the electrical substation for the airfield is, and I believe that they will be going across. I'm not close by to show you exactly what is going to happen there, but I just want to show you here where I'm at. And just above us is where we have the control tower, just on the bank side up there. Now the electrical substation is open, the generator is running, the guys are on the field, they're testing the lights, because on my way coming up on the side I saw the lights on the runway, and those at the turning head at the north on, and the guys are in the field doing some testing work. As you can see, some of them over there, they're actually testing the connection of the light. Now the fencing work has gotten to this point you're looking at here. Right in front of us we also have another stake painted with orange. Now I'm trying to figure out how it's going to run, because not too far from here, just over there in front of the electrical substation building, we have another stake painted in orange, and as we go around up to that point up there, you see them, all these stakes painted with orange going out. I am wondering if they're going to bring the fencing in the back here. But I am just speculating, huh? But in times to come, you're going to see for yourself exactly where the fencing will go. And this is the point to where it has gotten to so far. Up on the hill up there, you can see the white conduit. And I'm sure that they're going to make their way down to this area. Now you see they already laid down the BRC steel. They have divided the area of about 6 sections here, and in preparation for the concrete works here at the hangar for the Mustique Airways. So by the time I visit back here next week, or if I visit in the week, who knows, this work could be completed. On this side you see where they have already done this section. So when all of this is done, the next stage will be the importation of the steel frames, and that will be mounted up here, and then around that they're going to put up the blocks. Remember earlier up down at the stone crushing plant we saw these trucks, and I told you they were bringing stone to put on the roadway up at the control tower, but I wasn't too sure. But now you can see where the trucks are parked. This is the area where the stones are being brought. So this is the work so far since I last visited. This is what is taking place right now. They're putting down the siding to hold the concrete that will be making this wall here at the roadway. Like I told you in my last video, there are going to be 2 roads here, one on the left, one on the right, just in the area where we have the Rubis farm. Here at the area where we have the Rubis fuel farm, on the bank side, looking down there we have the cargo apron, electrical substation. In the distance down there you see where they done the fencing work. Now last week when I paid a visit up here, I told you about where they're laying down the fuel pipes to connect to those which they would have already laid down somewhere on the bank side over there. And you would have seen all the pipes lying there which they had to lay down. Now this week, another week, 1 week after, all of this work has been done. So there is no more pipes to be laid up here to connect to the fuel pipe. All that is left to be done regarding the Rubis pipe lane is that area from the pump station down at the south to the Stubbs Bay area. Whatever they're going to do down there, that portion of work is what they have left to be done, because all of the pipe lane from the pumps, from the station here itself, the tanks themselves, right down to the pump station, all those pipes have already been laid. I am here at the entrance to go to the control tower, and as I look forward ahead of me, I can see where there has been some asphalting work of the roadway to the control tower. Now we still have some more work to be done regarding this roadway, and there also has to be some sort of drainage system to take the water off of this road. Maybe well had to be done on the bank side just below us on the left, because where we are at here, it's a sloping area. The slopes from both sides, from behind me from the main road and from the hill coming down here. So any direction this water will have to go will be over the bank side here. But I don't know how they're going to do that, if they're going to build some drains going down there or if they're going to run some pipes. But what we see happening actually is that they're running the conduit, the PVC conduit that will convey the various wires and cables to the control tower from the electrical substation down there. Like I have told you last week, that this electrical substation south of the cargo terminal building is the standby area where we have the standby generator that will light the airfield. And right now as I speak with you, the lights are on the airstrip, that is on the runway itself, and this generator will also light the control tower in the event that we have a power outage. Now currently the control tower is being powered, as you would have known that at night the lights come on, because of the fact that we had electrical poles running in this area, as you can see right in front of us here, because they had houses up there. The current is still flowing up there, so this building is lighted by the utility pole. It will also be done by Vinlec as well, but the cables to the building that will power it when we have an outage, that is what they're focusing on. It's lunchtime now and nobody is here. The place is dead, no work is going on. And from where I'm at on the hill up here, looking back towards the runway, I can see movements regarding the asphalting of the shoulder area on the eastern side, because I can see the compactors compacting. I can see the truck back up to the asphalt plant, and when I see this, I know work is taking place. And the only asphalting work that will be taking place in that area of the runway is the shoulder area. Now we are here on this roadway where the asphalting work has been done, and the drainage is not fully completed. I think they would have done this before they start putting in the asphalt, but it is not yet done. And remember when I was coming up from down at the bottom, I told you that the trucks coming up with the stone, most likely they will be dumping it up here, because from what I've seen last week, they would be doing this road. But I was wrong. The road has actually been done up to that point, and the trucks were not actually bringing the stone up here, but I show you where they were bringing the stone and dumping the stone down there, where they're gonna have that roadway, where you see that yellow piece of equipment down there. where they're going to have that roadway, that emergency roadway coming out from the airport side. So I'm here on top of the hill, and as I look back on the runway, I am seeing the lights on the runway, and because it is daytime, it is not that clear. See we have this nice piece of road here. Actually, it's not yet finished. We have that section out there, and if you notice from here, it goes down into a slope. So when all of this water off the drainage goes down, no doubt it will have to end up down at the bottom. So I will have to wait and see how they're going to work this out so that they can channel the water down into the drain down there and avoid any sort of flooding. But on top of the hill here, getting a nice view of the runway. Over there in the distance, far up north, I am seeing the red lights twinkling, but you can't see them so clearly because it is high daytime, sun is shining, but with the naked eyes I'm seeing them. Maybe you can pick them up in the camera, I don't know, because I'm not seeing them clearly here, but I just want you to know that guys are testing the lights. This is what we have here. Now I'm trying to see how far up I can go. Looking at this area here, the building there is completed. That is where we're going to have the Met offices and the airport supervisors, staff from the airport is where they're going to have it. Them working, the manager of the airport and all of those persons. This is the control tower here. This was built by Franco Construction and was completed since last year, I believe. See, this red conduit you see running here, it brings a cable. I don't know if it's a telephone cable or something, but it is bringing a cable all the way down from the electrical substation and coming all the way up here to the building. But I do not know what kind of cable it is. It looks to me like a telephone cable. It also looks to me like an internet cable. I don't know. But you're getting a glimpse of the road as I move towards the top. I'm going to get a peep up there to see what it looks like at the top, where I probably will have parking areas. So when I get up there, I'm going to show you the rest of it. I have not visited this area for quite some time now, so I'm making a trip from the main side. So you see all here that you used to see stones in the center. It's now filled with grass. Well, filled with dirt, and the dirt had the grass seed in it, so the grass grew up. But eventually they're going to remove all of these weed, I call them. And you have to be very careful how I call it, grass or bush. And they're going to plant whatever flower plant they're going to choose to put here. And this is the main access road, the public access road to the airport site. Coming in from down there, the main road, just where you see that vehicle is passing there right now, that is the main Windward Highway. And this road was built actually in preparation for the building of the airport. This route where this road is passing wasn't the original route years ago, but the road has now been diverted in this area so that we could have the building of the airport. From on top of the bank side, west of the passenger terminal building, just above where we have the car park, I'm here looking back at the building. And as I come from this area, which I have not really passed for a good while now, and I look down on the roadway around the terminal building, I can see some freshly done asphalting work in this road area around the building. Now all down there south of the electrical substation for the passenger terminal building, you see where they would have done asphalting work, and no doubt that area could very well be a parking area. And we have some asphalting work going all around the taxi hut there, going back down to where we have the gateway. And now on your right over there, where we're going to have the emergency road, where you saw the trucks earlier dumping stone, that piece of roadway will also be done. They're preparing it for the asphalting. You see, when it rains, the water that runs down off of this bank here washes the dirt onto the road here and mix with the stones. So I guess they're kind of get this work remedied now that it is dry, to prevent that sort of problem that we're having, because on this bank side where I'm at, a lot of water run down here, and they have to do some sort of grass planting in this area to prevent the water from running down to the back down there, because the wall that they have down there is not a wall that is built from concrete or cement and stone. It's just this fancy blocks, like they just fit them interlock into each other and have them there as a nice design. There isn't any really set of secure adhesive to keep them in place, so that if the pressure from the bank side or the dirt and soaking gets to them, it can easily push them away and cause a problem later on. And so this is what you're seeing from the top here. The guys have been working last week in those areas where they have manholes, like this one here you're looking at right now. They are fitting up the boxing and do the concrete works to do those drain properly, so that the grill can fit in. All the spaces between the islands in the center, you see grass is growing there. This tells you that they've already filled it up with dirt, and the seeds of the grass or the weed that were in the dirt are growing there, but they're growing until they're ready to take them out and put in the plants. The plants that they will be using around the site, I believe that they've already have them planted. They are in set propagation, and as soon as they're ready, they will just bring them and plant them into whatever area they're going to plant them. So they are already growing, right? So it's not like they're going to plant young plants. They are plants that probably some of them are already tall plants, and they will just plant them in position. It is lunchtime, as you will know, and over there where they're building the wall, you see that they have gone up a bit higher with the wall, and it's in that area they're going to have parking space for the ground handling equipment. It's going to be a covered area, so I believe where they're doing that block slope is where they're going to have that covered area, but I'm not positively sure. I'm only speculating. But in most cases, when I shared my ideas with you and what I believe would happen, in most cases they actually happen. So here we are now on the asphalt road, coming around the taxi hut. I'm now on the flat. I was just on the bank side up there, all the way up there. So now I'm here on this piece of road where they recently did some asphalting work, and this no doubt was done in this week gone there, because when I visited here Saturday, I didn't notice anything like this in this area, and believe you me, I don't miss anything. So I'm telling you, this was done in the week. Quite a lot of asphalting work, because we have asphalting work done on the roadway at the north, at the control tower, and there seems to be a slight problem here. This area needs to be remedied. Yeah, I don't know. Right. So all here was done. And this, no doubt, you have here will be the soak away for the taxi hut here, which is right in front of us here. So all of the roadway now, as you can see around this area, you see the asphalting of the roadway. So things are shaping up here. We are getting closer to the end. Just the finishing touches taking place here at the site. As you probably will be aware by now, this is what is happening. Small touches. In previous videos, I've been giving you some update as to what might take place in these areas here. But now you're seeing it for yourself, and if you are to go back in all of those videos, you could recall that I've been telling you that they're going to put some sort of asphalting work here. This is going to be a roadway. This roadway will take you onto the apron at the back of me. Now remember, we have a gate right here, but this gate is temporary. And if you notice where this fencing, this is permanent here, right where this fencing is. So it could very well be that the gate, when the hangers are completed, the gate can go, very much the gate can go right in this area here where we are looking at, and come around the wall here. I don't know how it's going to run, and then go on that long wall going straight across out there towards the cargo building. But this is just my idea based on what I'm seeing, because it's quite obvious if you have a roadway here, you must have a gateway for vehicles to get onto the side. And then because of the fact that we have the fencing here and they are permanent, and those on the side, the hanger there, the apron, they are temporary, the conclusion I will come to is that they're going to put a gate here when everything is completed, but that is left to be seen. But in the meantime, the gate is here, and no doubt they will have to start putting some fencing across it. So I don't know if they're going to make, how they're going to put the fencing across it to link up with that at the gate side here, because they have dug the hole a good while, and I am not sure what is keeping back the progress regarding the fencing here. If in fact that what I am thinking about is exactly what they're going to do. But you see where they would have dug holes there, and the holes are now filled. So I don't know what is holding up this aspect of the work. But when it is done, you're going to get an idea, because I'm going to show it to you. So here we are at the area where they're doing the shoulder of the runway. We have two stretches to do on each side, and they're now on the first stretch, going as far up as where you can see the black spot on the ground there. That is as far as where they're going with this stretch. I don't know if they're going to do both sides today, but the sun is quite hot out there. We have some clouds in the sky. It is kind of breezy, but you could feel the heat coming down on your head. And it's a nice day for this sort of work, asphalting work. Here we have the compactor compacting this area that they would have done. Now this section of the asphalting work they're doing right now, this is the shoulder area, and this section only has one layer. Unlike the runway itself, where we had two layers, the shoulder area only gets one layer. Now the truck has finished offloading its load of asphalt, and the guys now are waiting for the other truckload to come to continue with the progress of the laying of this asphalting work of the shoulder area of the run. Well, we are here at the area of the petroglyph hill, and you see both drills are on the hill, and I assume that once both drills are on the hill, both drills are working, but currently the lighter colored one, that is the one that is in operation now. The yellow one is on the left side over there, but no activity taking place. It is after lunchtime now, so the vehicles are back in position and they are being loaded with stones that were blasted in the week and pushed over there on the ground. So not much of the hill is left to come down, as you can see here in the video. By the first week in March, in August, sorry, we should see this hill coming on. This is just my anticipation. I'm anticipating that by that time all of this hill should come down. We have another truck load of asphalt just come and has backed up to the asphalt paver, and so we'll have another strip or the continuation of the paving of this strip. Now here on the western side, we still also have this section to do, 2 lanes, but it is my belief that this will probably be done, and I am not sure. It could very well be done before, or they could wait until after the taking down of these rocks here, because when they blast the rocks, no doubt the rocks pitch all over the place, as you can see on the ground in front of us there. Fragments of the rocks that come down from off the hillside there where they're doing the blasting. Now I'm going over to the area where we have the 220 and to give you a look-see as to what has taken place there. I'm not going to tell you yet until I reach across it, because I can see from where I'm at, but I'm not going to tell you until we get there. But what you're looking at here right now is the work that is taking place here on the hillside of the Petroglyph Hill, where they are taking down the hill to make way for the fencing work here in this area. Now this is what I'm telling you. This is what I was telling you about a while ago, and I told you I'm coming across by the 220 to show you what is taking place. But I'm not going to tell you. Now you have seen them putting the fencing here over the area where we have the 220, bringing it closer to the Petroglyph Hill. And all here where I'm at right now, they have laid base stones here, and I'm hoping that they're going to asphalt this area. I don't know what they're going to do here, but you see the base stones are being laid. So the fencing, it wasn't here last week Saturday when I came, so this would have been done in the week, and I was to come in Wednesday. I didn't get a chance because of the rain, and so now you're seeing all what has taken place since my last visit last Saturday, the 16th day of July. Now back on the hill up there, we have the drilling into the rocks, and the bulldozer pushing away the dirt and stone, and the trucks are being loaded with the stones from here by the loaders. So very soon we could see the continuation of this fencing work going straight across, and you're gonna know when work is going to be done, because first of all they have to survey the area, and then they're going to put the stakes in position. Now the space distance between each of these poles is 10 feet, and well, the mesh itself is 10 feet wide, and part of the mesh rests on the pole, on each pole, so it's not the distance is not actually 10 feet, could be about 9 feet and 3/4, but the width of the mesh itself is 10 feet. So when they plant the poles, they plant them in that particular distance. Not all of the areas are planted 10 feet apart or thereabout, because some areas you have some small pieces, as you want to see from time to time. But this is what has taken place here at the western side of the 220. You see right up there in the distance we have the bulldozer pushing away the dirt and the grader grading off. There are corrective works done here because when I visited here some time ago, I would have seen some small problems of erosion, and now they are correcting this work here, as you can see in this video. Well, I'm here on the bank side, you know, where that road once passed, coming down from the Argyle Gardens area, just where you have that coconut, that gugu body lying across the area there. There's where the road once passed. So all this area you're looking at here, that is now level down to the ground. This is the route where the road once passed. But where I'm standing is a part of the bank side, just above where the road was. Now what I'm looking at here right now below me is what I believe they're going to put the garage for the servicing of the equipment on site. Now you know we have equipment on the site, and we know we have a parking area for them. But now when these equipment go bad, they need to be fixed. And right here is where I believe is where they're gonna have that garage to fix them. Now I am not quite sure how it's going to be built. It possibly can be that it's going to come close to the bank side because I'm on the bank looking down at it. But I also want to believe that this garage, however big it is, we see some stakes being placed here. We have about 4 different sections, if you can see the different marking out, and it looks as though they are filling up the area here with dirt to level it off. And we have a big space in the back here afterwards. So I am not sure if it's going to be just a shell or if they're going to block it up. How they're going to do it, I don't know. But the preparation work has started for that. You see all the stakes are there and it has already been surveyed. So we just have to wait and see what happens next. And while I speak with you and I look down on the runway, I can see the lights down there glittering. It's still daytime. About 20 minutes to 4, but you can see them down in the south down there. And the guys are testing them. I'm not sure if they're going to be on tonight or if they're going to be tested later, but if that is the case, then I'll probably be able to see them tonight, but I'm not quite sure about that. And the stones from the petroglyph hill continue to be removed and taken down to the stone crushing plant, and there you see a truck loaded with stone heading in that direction. Now I have learned that both drills on the hill, they are working, but today we only have one operator, and according to the fella in charge of the blasting, the operator is in hospital. So you see the problem that they encounter. When the drill is done, we have operators. Now both drills are working, the operators, only one operator. And so far, from what I've gathered from him, they have done 227 blasting. And also, from the information I gathered from him, they have about 6 more blasting to do on this hill here, which can take them very much into the middle of August, about the 2nd week in August. And I'm here on top of the hill, all here. They have to do drilling, and the drill is actually, one of the drills is actually in operation right now, like I have told you before. The other one, though it is working, there isn't any operator to do the drilling. So there you're seeing the drill up there doing its work. And Monday coming, we're gonna have the blasting of that area where they are drilling right now. Here you see one truck has just finished offloading load of asphalt, and the second truck is now heading on its way down to the asphalt paver, and they are now on the 2nd lane of that side of the shoulder area. So by the time they get to the point where they stop, they will only have a small section left. See right where that vehicle is passing, well far over on the right, you have on the left side, you have where they have ended with the asphalt thing. And on this side here, they have also sprayed a part of the shoulder where they would have done a section already, and the other section has been sprayed. I don't know if they're going to do it today. The weather is not looking good. We have some dark clouds, but the clouds are sailing towards the south, and in this area we're still having bright sunshine. So here we have the area where they're going to put the parking area for the service vehicle. Now you see where they have blocked up, put the blocks here on this side. Now what they're doing now inside, they're making the area for what will probably concrete. But the question is, if they're going to put the parking area in this area, they could have very well put up some blocks work along the same fencing area rather than putting up the mesh. But it doesn't look as though that is going to be the case, because so what we have here right now is that they're doing the preparation, the groundwork for what appears to be concrete works in this area, so that we can have the parking area for the vehicle. Already you see the wall on the outside, on that side over there, has been done. The blocks are up here, and the guys have been putting up the boxing for the first crown here on these blocks in this area. This is located north of the terminal building, which is down there. So what is actually taking place here, as I told you before, is merely the finishing touches, those small ends of work that has to be done to complete the whole process of the work here. And those small work, you know, usually take some time, and that is exactly what we're doing here, as you can see. So very soon we will be having our work here completed at the airport site, and many of us will be happy because we'll be able to come and take off in a jet plane to go wherever we want to go without having to worry about having to stay off in Barbados or Trinidad, St. Lucia or Grenada. So there you're seeing, just as I thought, I believe that I would have hinted this before to you and told you that eventually they might put up the rails, the mesh, the poles at the top here, and put in the fence. This is the area on the air side of the apron where we have the wheelchair ramp. Now you notice that they would have put up some blocks work because they can't put the fencing here because the fencing will now come below where we have the wheelchair ramp. So what has been done here is that they build this block wall, and I believe the wall will be going all the way down to the end. I'm not quite sure, but they have built the wall, and now the wall has gotten to a certain height. They are now putting in the poles where they're going to put the meshes onto that area. And this is the area east of where we have the wheelchair ramp, or northeast of the terminal building. So we are here at the emergency roadway where you have seen the base stones laid, and currently we have the compactor operated by Mr. Little, local operator, and compacting this area here. Earlier up, just before lunchtime, you saw the trucks were laying down the stone, but it doesn't seem as though any more stones will be laid this afternoon. But this compactor here is now doing the compaction work here, and by the time I come back here next Saturday, or maybe if I visit in the week Wednesday, hopefully we will be able to see the asphalting of this area where we're gonna have the roadway. Now there has to be some work done here on this bank side, because when it rains the water runs off of this area, as you know, runs down here. So I don't know how they're gonna do the drainage. They already have a wall built here, and this road is going all the way back out towards the cargo terminal building and back out at the main road. Last week we talked about this wall here, and the question was, what are they going to do at this side wall? Whether they're going to put up stone wall to make it look uniform, or whether or not they're going to plaster it. It was my belief that to make it look uniform they would have put up some stone wall, but here we have a plastering. I guess this is much quicker. So now you're seeing the completion of this section of the wall that forms the ramp that goes towards the cargo terminal building. So the finishing touches are being done here in this area. You have seen at the north end of this Alpha taxiway where they would have cut it in a straight line, and then they put in a fresh piece of asphalt. And I told you in one of my videos that most likely they're going to do the southern end just like that. But down here is the south, and no work has started on it as yet, but it is my belief that they're going to do down here similar to how they do at the top up there. But this work may probably hold up for a while, because what is actually happening, the trucks that are moving dirt from the Petrocliff Hill to the south end, they are using this area to pass just at the corner over there where you have the fencing over there. They are using this area to get to the bottom. So they are driving on the apron and come along this area here south of across on the Alpha taxiway and move across to the end out there of the fencing, straight down on the western side, and go all the way down around on the area of the fencing and come back up to where we have the stone crushing plant. So you could very well find that this work, after all the transportation of stones from the Petrocliff Hill is completed, they may very well do this, or they can probably do it even before that happens. But the fact remains that if it is to be done while they're still jogging the stones, then it's going to create a problem. But we're going to wait and see, and most likely they might have a roadway here as well. I don't know, but I am only speculating. Based on what I'm seeing, it could very well be the case, but we still have some finishing touches to be done in this area where we have the fencing just below the bankside where we have the control tower on the hill up there, we have some work to be done here. The meshes are on the ground here waiting, so as soon as they're ready they're gonna put them up, and who knows, by the time I come back here next Saturday all these meshes will be in position. But the work continues here at the airport site. It is 25 minutes to 5 and the guys who are walking up to 4 o'clock, everybody has closed off the airwork. The drill will continue on the hill because according to the Cuban man who in charge of that, he's going to work up to midnight tonight drilling the area, and tonight and tomorrow. So by Monday, midday or 1 o'clock or thereabout, we're going to have some blasting of that section of the hill. The north piece where the drill is working going to come down.